Welcome to mamasboytv. I'm your host Ravi, and today we've got a fantastic show. We're here with two-time Guyanese Canadian duck curry champion Johnny Somwar, who's displaying his winning gold medal. So Johnny, talk to us about duck curry and a little bit about the history of the dish.
Duck curry, or curry duck as some people would say, it's original Guyanese dish. It's a go-to dish, but if you want to impress your friends or your special guests coming over, that's the way to go.
Cool. So basically you've got friends coming over, you're making duck curry, they know that you're really going beyond and above to impress
pulling out
them.
all the stops.
You're pulling out all the stops. Cool. So this, what we have here, is really the key ingredients to a championship duck. And in Guyana, different villages have their own take, different families. So this is the Johnny Somwar Championship Duck Curry ingredients that we're going to get into. What we have here is really sort of the main flavor for the duck, which creates the masala. And these are the raw ingredients. It's a mixture of methi, sarso, cumin, all of these spices we'll post on mamasboy.tv, so you can go there and get all the details. But basically, this is roasted and then ground up to create the masala, and which here we have two different flavors. Johnny, talk to us a little bit about the masala that you brought with you today.
Yeah, like you said, this is the same stuff that it's ground up, but it depends on the roasting. The roasting, the darker you roast the seeds, the darker you get. The more you roast the seeds, and this is original from Guyana, which is roasted outside and outside fire and all that, and skillet, and they ground it together, so you can notice the darkness in the flavor. This is done here by my mom, and she did it in an oven. You can notice the lighter part of it.
Okay, so there's some additional things here. Can you just walk us through what these are?
This is the original curry powder, which can be found in containers like this. Comes from any West Indian store.
Right.
This is a cumin or ground jeera. This is brown sugar. Some people don't add it. It depends on this. Is a secret that you add it on to tenderize the meat or whatever.
But in your duck, you add brown sugar.
Exactly, exactly. And this is all pureed onion garlic.
Okay.
We like to puree it because I think it lets the flavor out.
So now moving on to the main ingredient, obviously, is the duck. And Johnny's been so kind to kind of prepare the duck before. Johnny, talk to us about your process, because I think this is kind of one of the most important parts.
Yes, duck, as you know, is a very gamey meat. It has to be washed thoroughly. A lot of attention has to be paid into washing of the duck. I like to wash it, really wash it, so I get all the red out of the meat.
Okay.
My water turns white.
Because it's kind of a gamey...
Exactly, the gamey flavor. Then lots of lemon.
Okay.
Use a lot of lemon to cut that flavor, that gaminess out of it. And there you go.
Cool.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's kind of got a yellowish tint here. Did you add anything before to get to that color?
True, yes. I did add a little bit of all the spices, because personally here I like to make my meat happy before I cook it. I add it all together, make it all the spices, so let it sit. Some people will let it sit for overnight in the fridge, but in Guyana, like if you know, in Guyana style, they chop the fresh meat right there and cook it right away, so it's totally different. So marination makes your meat happy, and anything else that goes into helping with the happy vibe? Well, the happy vibe is usually the Guyana style or West Indian style. We have to have a bottle of rum on the side.
Right. So before we move to the stove, Johnny's just going to pull all of these things together in a bowl that go into mixing together in the oil. So Johnny, can you just...
it's just as the cooking of the duck curry. It would just take too long to add a little bit of everything. So what we usually do, we add all the ingredients. So my pureed garlic into one little bowl. I'd have to add my curry powder on top. Okay. Right? 2 tablespoons of curry powder. Right. It's all added on to, like we said earlier in our show, the different flavors, different villages, different people, different tastes. Or cumin. It's all mixed into one. So that was like a teaspoon or a tablespoon of cumin? Exactly, exactly. But the masalas differ. For a Guyana masala, like the brown, the darker ones, is more bitter. It's big different. Okay, so we're by the stove. We've got our happy duck. We've got our masala ready to mix. And we've got our oil, which is heated. And we're ready to make some championship duck curry. So Johnny, over to you. Walk us through this. Yeah, so once you make sure your oil is really hot, and then you add all the mixing that we spoke about earlier. Once it's roasted, you'll release all the flavors. All right, let's do it. Let's release some flavors. Good. Now stand away far from the stove or from the hot oil, because if you can hear the zing on it. The hotter the oil is, you hear the more zip into it. That means the oil is really, really hot. So all the flavors are in there. You get a spoon, you stir it around. Just let it, again, it's being roasted, and to release all the flavors of all the little seeds and ingredients that we added on together. Cool. So here you go. We add our meat in there. Right. Have a look at that. You hear that? You hear that zip in there? So now, because the duck is a little happier already, because we added all the little, why I like to add all my little ingredients to the duck before, and then you can hear the zip. Now you have to make sure that you're coating all the meat. You're coating all the meat with that mixture.
Coating? You mean you're getting it all mixed up?
All the mixers.
That's another Guyanese cooking term. Coat your meat.
Yeah, coat your meat. Yeah, right. You're putting a coat over it, so it's everything will taste the same.
The meat is well coated.
And then you give it a little shake, like it's nice and happy. And a lot of guys use that bang bang to let all the extra things out of it. The happier the hand. See, I feel my salt. See, you have to feel it. Then you make everybody happy. See,
right?
Feel it. So let it work. You turn the stove down a notch, kick it on a notch, there you go. So now you're letting the meat now release all the excess water it has in there, and that has to cook out of the duck. All the gaminess has to be cooked out of it.
Oh, the oil's got to be kind of drained out.
The gaminess has to be cooked out of it. Now you can leave it sit, you can have another shot of rum, and you put your lid on, make it happy. See how nice that color is? See if you cook this outside now in an outside stove like in Guyana, that color will be darker.
So far we've been on the stove for 20 minutes, and at this point we're going to add in the brown sugar, which is another key ingredient, right Johnny?
Yes, the brown sugar just tenderizes the meat.
Okay, our duck's done cooking and it looks like a very happy duck to me. It smells fantastic, and overall the process took about an hour from start to finish, but the actual cooking time was about 40 to 45 minutes for this particular duck because it was a 2.5 pound hen duck. But John, you kind of adjust your length of time based on the size of the duck.
Exactly. Like the size of the duck, and the older the duck is, or bigger the duck is, the harder the meat is. Okay. So the younger duck is tenderer. So 40-45 minutes.
But you're really trying to go for a nice tender, meat falling off the bone kind of duck.
Exactly. Okay. Not too tender, because duck is really a tough meat.
Okay.
And tough really is, it's better because you remember now you have the rum on the side.
Right, the rum.
And a couple shots of rum on the side. Now the duck is all done. You can smell that smell, and the appetite is well opened up, so you're ready for the duck. Other
than rum, is there other things that duck can go? Like, what else would we eat it with? I mean, today we just focused on the duck, but what are the side dishes that you would eat with this?
Yeah, it's like it goes well with rice or roti or flatbread or whatever you call it.
John, you want to come by and let's try this duck? So Johnny, is cooking duck in Guyana really help you find a girl? Like girls?
Because remember in our intro there, the kids were playing outside. Right. That's where all the family come together. People are visiting and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So then everybody meets everybody, and there you go. Now we're coming in for dinner, and the men had their fill of rum, and
Right.
So now we're all.
Everybody's
happy.
But with the girls in the village know that Johnny is a champion.
Well, that's why they call. There is a nickname for curry.
What's
curry or the curry powder, and that smell they call it Indian girl's perfume. So the better the smell with that smell, it's the better they can cook.
You sure that's the right word? Is it?
It's Kuligyal perfume they call it.
Kuligyal perfume. Yeah. All right. Cool. All right, so let's dig in. Let's try out the championship duck here.
That's some great spices. This is champion.
This is a great duck, and another thing you look at while you're cooking a duck too. You can look at the meat. You see if the meat is coming off the bone. It's awesome. You can notice all the spices are in there. See how oily it is. That's a great duck. Nice, very nice. Very nice. Awesome.
Perfect. Well, Johnny, I want to say thank you for coming on.
You're welcome.
And sharing your championship duck curry.
You're welcome.
This is so good, guys. And check out mamasboytv for more details on the recipe and a full explanation on all of the ingredients and where to find them. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, thank you.
You marinate it to make it happy. Exactly. So a happy duck.
Yes.
Happy wife, happy life, happy duck.
Exactly. Yes.
All right.
You're watching.
Would you add rum in here? A little bit of rum?
No, rum doesn't go in there.
No, but how many shots of rum would we have had by now if you were really cooking this?
2 or 3, because you would. Yeah, but
so you feel good about this duck? The happier you are, the better the duck.
We tape it early in the morning, so now we're more into the business of cooking the duck.
Right.
But if you do it in Guyana, you usually have a couple of bottles of rum on the side.
A couple of bottles now.
A couple of bottles. Okay. One bottle of rum is a tiny one.
True. You want to get this guy really happy.
Yeah. You got to give it up really happy.